Hi everybody, this is Rose of Sharon and I'm back again with another movie review. I just recently had the privilege of watching Asterix Conquers America, and in my state we never got a chance to see it. If it was released, I completely missed it because it was released before I became, well, I'm not really obsessed per se, but I am a big fan of Asterix and Obelix. That being said, I think it's extremely clever how in the film, once Obelix actually meets the Native Americans, they're speaking a language all of their own, but it's all Native American words like Minnetonka, Saratoga, Chicago, you know, things like that. State names, city names, Winnebago is actually TP. Let's see, TP is a Native American word. Canoe is another one. Algonquin, Pontiac, a lot of things like that we borrowed. White man has no originality. Anyway, the movie itself is absolutely hilarious. It's absolutely wonderful. It's tremendous as usual. I love the animation. The character designs are outstanding. They're completely stellar, and it's sad to say that the original voice actor, I think it was for Caesar. I don't know if it was for Obelix or not. It might have been for Asterisk, but they are no longer with us. I hate to say it, but I'm not sure why I'm getting all these notifications for Asterix and Obelix. Not that I'm complaining, but as far as the plot's concerned, it takes a lot from history and decides to turn it on its nose, which I don't mind at all. It's very funny. There are a lot of things that are said that today might be considered racially offensive, and also the design of the natives might have been considered as racist, but honestly I don't really see it as an issue. I just think that it's meant to be funny and comedic, and everything about it is just absolutely phenomenal. And of course you have the running theme of Obelix being dropped into the pot of Getafix's potion when he was a baby, and I don't really know the origin of that, although there is a book about it, and I'd like to read it honestly because I'm very curious about how Obelix actually received his power, and how he doesn't even know the duration or quantity of his own strength. And it's always nice to see how much he and Asterix are foils of one another. One is more resolute and rational, while Obelix is more driven by carnal desires like eating, for instance. And of course I really love these characters like Cacophonix and Impedimenta, Vital Statistics. I mean, the names themselves are just absolute genius, and I always love that wordplay just because I'm a writer myself, so I get a lot of inspiration. In my latest fan fiction, I used an inkwell as the fountain of life. Yeah, I'll stop, but most people don't really care for the heady humor of puns just because, oh my goodness, it requires brain matter and the ability to create and be innovative and think on your toes, and most people don't really enjoy engaging their gray and white matter to be entertained. But me, I like a good quick wit and play on words, because it to me it's always enjoyable, and I adore that, especially when it's double entendre or innuendo. But as far as the movie is concerned, I have to give it 3.5 because it's not perfect, but it's a pretty darn good representation of this history turned on its ear, and it's fun. And of course, one of our characters finds himself in some peril, and the two are separated, and eventually they become reunited, and Obelix ultimately saves the day. Sorry for the spoiler, but it seems to be that's another running gag within this series as well. So they continue that theme and do it to the utmost degree. And I'll give it 4 out of 5. I think I'll give it 4.5 because it's almost a perfect score. The only reason I don't give it a perfect score is this is a story I've seen done before, but I love to see just how the Romans are portrayed, and I like the fact that they are portrayed as what they are, and it kind of makes me think of society now in general, and it's an interesting contrast. I must say that a lot of us don't know that we are the new Rome, so we need to be careful not to end the same way that the Romans did. Just saying. Anyway, it's a little bit of a downer for an otherwise positive review. But beyond that, I'm still in process of, I just currently started writing McGrath. I'm going to read my synopsis about that. Once this is completed, I'll upload it onto Kindle or Amazon Publishing, because that's where all of my work is. Walter McGrath grew up in the rough streets, nearly dirt poor, but he advanced to mobster status when he gets accepted by Shang Fu, who is an intellectual, diabolical, iron-fisted dictator of the Triad. McGrath becomes a capo and works his way up to become capo de capi. He now has it all: Estonian wife Delilah, 2 kids, Uri and Ursula. However, a defectant within the group named Paul becomes power-hungry and strives to rob McGrath of everything he has worked for. And that's the whole point. Paul, when I present the preacher or the priest at first, he comes off as a very demure character, and he's very underhanded and manipulative, and I think that's what I love to hate about him. He uses his ability. He's charismatic, and he wins people's trust by the fact that he's very honest, and he always keeps his word. He's responsible, but on the other hand, he's always looking for he's always looking for an opportunity to turn the tables in his favor, and he's just a terrible, terrible man. And he uses that whole facade. He's masquerading the whole time, so he's one of those types, but I love to hate him. He's a villain that I can say I'm very proud of creating. I take a lot of personality traits that I don't necessarily like. I see in people that I don't really have a high opinion of, and then I create villains out of them, because initially I like to kill off my villains, so it's very cathartic. I'm thinking that's what's going to happen with Preacher, but he's also called the Preacher or the Priest because people see him as a confessor. They tell them their deepest, darkest sins, and he absolves them, because he actually has a license to lead services, and he can wheedle his way through the market, and he uses the Bible as a means, and it's just so bad. You think, ugh. Like I said, somebody I just love to hate. The Bible isn't supposed to be used that way, so I'm using that as an example. But I'm working on that, and I am actually working on sorry, long day, peak season. But I'm working on another story called Love and Laughter. And it's a tale of a comedian who finds love during the worst set of his entire life. So everything changes for him and things only improve once he marries, but his life becomes complex. But he adapts very, very well to chaos because he can think on his feet. He's innovative. He evolves, but yeah, it just shows how versatile he is, and I like his character quite a bit because I see a lot of myself in him, but that's all I have to say about what I'm doing right now. So until next time, live long and prosper. Ciao, tutti.